Okay, so we're going to be doing a 3D lobster trap ornament today. And these are everything that you're going to need, all the tools that you're going to need. Well, for whatever reason, I always tend to forget things that I need to have. You're going to need to have an iron, you're going to need to have a glue gun. You're going to need to have your X-Acto knife. We do not use any cording on this project. We adorn it well, that's not true. We use cording for the loop, which we will use a ivory colored rope. I haven't really decided yet what I want to use on this one because of the colors that are in it and the style in which it's stitched. So let's start out by getting this cut out. And I'm going to pretend that I haven't ever done one of these before so that you know how to figure out this shape. Okay, I do have templates that I've created because I have done this many times. It's also one of my designs. So you'd think, oh, she already knew how to do this one. No. I had to create templates and figure out, because a stitched piece is totally different than when you do a model. And so it's just not always as simple as you think it is going to be, for whatever reason, because of the angle of the stitches. One side tends to be a fuller, where this side has a distinct angle to it. So it actually changes it as it goes around. I want to share this video with you, for one, because it shows you everything that goes into making a 3D ornament, but also because there's a certain way that when I first tried to put it together, I went, ooh, okay, that didn't sit quite right the way I wanted it to, and because I want this piece to go around the outside. So I had added stitches to this design so that you could fold more over and not have any visible seam here when it's all sewn together. That's our hopes. Sometimes I question why I make 3D things at all, but they're a challenge for the engineering, and that's why I like to do them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut away the waste canvas about a ½ inch out, and then we're going to nip it, and we are going to measure it and figure it all out as we go. Very simple ways to do anything that has a shape to it, which we're going to show you right now. As far as to be able to get a template of your shape. Essentially, it's the exact same way I do my mini stocking, a round ornament. Round ornaments, you use a round template, well, at least I do, for my interior, so that it's perfectly round, because not all round ornaments turn out round. Okay, so we have this. Make sure that I'm being seen. Okay. Okay. For as much as I try to, I always end up with schniblets, little bits of waste canvas, which I call schniblets, everywhere. Alright, so I'm going to bring in my press board, because in a minute we're going to be pressing this all down, just as we do in every version of finished work that I do. It's very important that you notch all the way along this, because it's going to arch like this, and we don't want any kind of kinky edges to it. Even if it is glued on, we still want it to be nice and smooth. We're doing about 1/4 inch chops. 1/4 inch that way. If you want to fast forward, go ahead. Okay, along this side doesn't matter quite as much because it's not doing the curve. Okay. Now, I have to remember, it's been a little while, a few weeks since I did one, so I always refresh myself. So this goes from there to there. So we're going to cut straight in at these spots. Okay, and then I'll do a little notch there. Pull off. Okay. Come down to that line. And we have to do tiny notches all the way around the curved ends. If you just do blunt cuts in instead of notching it out, when you fold it under, you'll have a larger amount of waste canvas on the back side. This is applicable to round ornaments as well. I don't want one of these large darts with a flat area here. There's going to be a bend where this bends up at a 90-degree angle. So I want to make sure that these are able to all bend. We know that from there to here, it's not going to bend. And I don't want this to buckle when it bends. Okay, so now we're just going to start folding these over. Okay, now I am taking this and really rolling it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing around the top. Okay, all of this should be rolled over tightly. Okay, we don't want a ton. I just want to see like one row of stitches there. Otherwise, the top piece will not curl over. This piece won't flap over correctly. And then it won't meet on both sides, and you'll be saying, Kelly, you're a bad designer. How could you do this to us? Yeah, I don't want that. Okay, so we're just rolling one up. Okay. And I only want one visible from the front. Okay. Probably should have put this video out a long time ago so anybody else who finishes things, it wasn't cursing my name for not telling them this sooner. Okay, so I'm going to take, oop, I got my iron on the wrong side of my swing arm lamp. So, with steam on, and the reason I do this is I want this to stay down until, because I'm going to pretend I don't have a template, okay? And I want you to be able to see how to do it. Okay. Okay. Let's make sure on this side everybody's still looking. Yeah, everybody looks good. Yeah. Okay. There's one. I'm going to do these corners first. Okay. I'm going to pull this. I do not want to roll. I want to see one at the end. I don't want to roll this up in. I want to have as much length on this as possible. You know, this is going to be a tricky one when you're stitching the edges because they are long stitches. So you kind of have to stitch in and under and be kind of sneaky about how you put those in. Okay. Right. Same thing here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, like this. Pick it up and roll this. We want to make sure that that stitch is definitely rolled over because this is what's going to wrap around, right? And we want to make sure that we don't see any waste canvas popping through. Now, of course, you can, plenty of ways to kind of fudge it in, but this is why I press it over, because it makes it so much easier to handle when it's being told, this is where you fold. And this is why you always measure after you do the flip over, because then you get an accurate measurement for how wide it needs to be. Did that on the eyeglass case. I measured my interfacing before I folded it over, and then I had to cut 1/8 of an inch off because it was going to be too snug. Okay. Now, there is a trick with doing curves. You're going to want to measure instinctually how big this is, this way and this way. Okay, hold on. I want this pressing board out of here. But that would not do, because when this folds over like this, it would be too tight inside there for the board that's going inside to move. So here we go. Help if I had the number side up. Okay, so yes, we want to make it 3¼ inches wide, and probably a little less than that. Yeah, 3¼ We can always trim it off if we get it in there and it isn't happy. But this is 5⅛. We're going to take we're going to take off 1/4. Yeah, we're going to do 4¾ long by yeah, 3¼ 4¾ by 3¼ Okay. Now, let's see if that jibes with we need to have it bend there and there. So it's actually 3½ wide. So yes, 3¼ will be perfect, because we want it to float. It has to be smaller on the inside than the other way. Okay, I got it. See, I have to measure too. I can't just go in like a bull in a china shop. Now, I'm going to quickly cut a smaller piece of mat so it's a little more manageable. And yes, I'm chopping away at this with a pair of scissors, breaking my own rule and using my fabric scissors to cut everything. Shh, no scolding. Okay. So, width-wise here, we want 2¼ right? And we want it to measure 3 3/8. 3 3/8. 2¼ 3 3/8. So 2¼ Yeah, now I'm going to do a fraction here. 3 and 3/8. Yeah, I know there's, don't go there about math and me. Lucky I'm even reading the ruler correctly. Okay, so let's get this 3 1/4. And actually, I can do it like this. What did I say? 4 3/4. 1, 2, 3 1/4. Now you're probably gonna go, are you kidding with the next step? No, I'm not kidding. This is what I do. Okay. And the other one is 2 1/4 by 3 3/8. So that's our bottom. That's our sides. For those of you who don't have templates, this is how we get a template. This is how you figure it out. And you want to make sure that it's a little less. Now remember what we talked about with the directional. So what you want to do is you want to put it like this, because when you, no, we're not beveling it like that, so ignore me. Okay, so we're going to put it not quite down to there. We're going to put it halfway in between. We're going to go like this. Okay, right? But then I want you to turn it and see how this end, yeah, that's pretty close to the same, right? Yeah, pretty close. I'm going to go around it again. And why is that? Because see how it's a little fuller on this side? Yeah. We want both ends to be symmetrical so that when you, well, or sort of symmetrical, because I'm about to hand do this out. I'll show you from my template. Make sure they're both, yeah, they're both, because sometimes I do one and, okay. So going in 1/8 of an inch all the way around would put you there. Another way you can do it is to take a piece of tracing paper, lay it over the top, and trace this in, because this may have gotten a little too far in or something like that. So you know that this is your shape here. This is going to be a bend, so we don't mind that if it is doesn't have board there. And the reason being is that we're going to fill the inside of this, so when it folds, all folds up, it's going to get nice and taut. I always do that. Okay, so it'll pull all of this together. Okay? Okay. So let's get cutting. If you want to fast forward while I try not, I hate cutting mat board. You have to have an extremely sharp blade. I did not pre-cut this because I wanted you to see how I figure out how to do things. Not just, oh look, here it's magically done and it looks like you had no effort into that whatsoever. Yeah, no. It's not how it is. Mat board I am using is acid free as well. Let's just have things like maybe sort of not degrade too quickly, because it's that kind of shifted on me. Just have to see if it's gonna, well, we're about to really do some fun stuff with this, so not yet. I used to have a rotary mat cutter. Those were the days. Then I foolishly lent it to a friend. Well, not foolishly. And then I told her to keep it. She's a sweetie pie. Okay. Alright, there's that. Alright. Okay. Now, need to use my template again. Ugh, schmutz all over me. And I'm gonna grab my blade to do that. Brilliant. Okay. I'm a very bad person. I know. Shh, shh, shh. Look, I know. Stop screaming at me. They're your good scissors, Kelly. Stop it. Don't do it. I can't help it. I hate cutting mat board. And I just find it easier with a curve to do it like this. I have a secret stash of scissors because I'm a scissor killer. Yep. I am a phone killer. I kill my battery on my phone. I'm a scissor killer. I'm a mower killer because I mow areas of my lawn that have big rocks in them, and I am not nice to my mower. Alright. Okay, so on my other things, I have discussed, okay, so about beveling. I especially like to do the bevel cuts on anything 3D. It may not make any difference in the long run, but somehow I just feel like it helps. Hold on. Okay, so I am going to bevel these pieces so that when they come together, this edge, the inside edge, is going to have a little bevel to it, so it's not squared off, so that the waste canvas can lay flatter against the back and there's a sharper edge along the fronts. So when these come up, and I know you're going to say, well, it really doesn't make a difference because look at that big seam. I know. It just makes me happy to do it because it makes me think it's doing something maybe that it's not. So when you bevel, okay, get like this. All right, and you're going to put a little angle on it, and you're just going to take a little off. Okay, you'll see on my, the one that I have at home, the pad that I have is a little, has lots of these little curves all the way around all the time because I do it so much to everything, because I just feel like this thinner line, and if you really want to push it down further, you can knock the edge of it down like that, even more so. Okay, now it's not perfect, no, it's not, but it takes that square edge off of it and gives you a much finer edge to work from. Okay, and again we come in, sorry I just hit the camera. Alright, taking a bulk of this off the edge. Okay, that there, that out of the way. Do the same thing here. Okay. Okay. All right. There we go. We do not do this one yet, as this one has an entire transformation it's going to have to go through. Let's see if my... Okay. So to get this to curve, not going to happen. Not like that, at least. So, this edge, going to go straight down and score it. Okay. See the score there, and now going to do 1/8 inch increments scoring. Trust me, I totally get off track on these. Can't tell if it's, sorry if it's out of focus. This is definitely fast forward moment till I get to the end. Oh, I just felt it shift right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to line it up, come to the top. Wow, that really, ooh, that went kittywampus big time. So we'll come back here a little bit. Try to get it straight again. Okay, now I leave thicker on both ends. Now, bevel here, bevel here, and about halfway in, and bevel that, and pull it out. We just keep doing that all the way down. Sometimes I don't get all the way where I want to. You do need to be careful that you do not go too far down, because you want to make sure you're not going through the board. There we go. I'm going to do a quick second score. Dark here. Help or hurt? Don't know that that really helped. Now, let's see. Oh, yeah. Pretty nice little bend there. Yeah. So what you have to do is you kind of have to roll it a little, help everybody get their bend on. Just sitting here kind of rolling it, right? Trying to figure out a way to do this so that you guys can watch it and not just see my hands all the time. Please be careful when you're doing this. I don't want you cutting your fingers. Okay, come on, bend. It's like a pasta machine roller thing. Actually, I just need a bigger piece, a rounder. Why is it I can never think of where a dowel or something that would be the perfect size? Still a couple right there. Okay, look at that. All right, woohoo! So now let's take the camera back up again. Gotta tighten it down a little, I think. Okay. Now, my son is going behind the tree now, so all right, let's start this piece right here. I'm gonna slide it in here, and we can match to the pale tan where that needs to go. I'm gonna pop this in the same way, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this side. Grab your glue gun. Be careful, it's been sitting over there forever on and it's going to be hot. Try to keep your glue line back towards the back edge, otherwise you're going to be pulling up through mat board and glue and everything else. Here, let's put this down. Make sure it's over nice and tight. Pull it up. Don't worry, it wasn't hot when I did that. I would have been cursing if it burned me and then apologizing profusely. Okay. I got a little too close. I'm circling it, trying to pull it back up away from that front edge a little. Guess I'm just a glutton for punishment, liking to have to pull a needle through glue. Okay, there's that. Okay, yay. Alright, now again, bevel side in, because we want those edges to come together nice and smoothly. And, yeah, I know. Will it make a difference? Probably not, but it makes me feel like it makes a difference, so I do it. Alright, so we can see where the line is. And bring it down in, because, okay, so here's the thing. If you need to, by leaving a little bit of space at the top. You need some space here at the bend, right? So we're just gonna bring this in, tack this down. And since we've already basically put the bend in when we ironed it down, look at how easy that is. You're not fighting all of these crazy twangy bits. Yep, looks good. Okay, just okay. Right, in. All right, bevel side, pop it in. Yeah. Come on, guys. They like it in there so much they don't want to open up to let the sucker in there. Okay, so straight, and bring it down just a skosh so there's plenty of room at the top to bend everything over. Keep it out a little ways so we're not grabbing glue. Okay. The glue schniblets off now. Take this and kind of grab those and bend it up. Shove them right down in that little crevice. Do the same there. Beautimus. Look at, oh. All right, let's hope you go together nicely. Behave yourself. Not likely. Always a challenge. Okay, now bevel time on the sides of this. And this is actually important because it does make a difference. I keep saying, you know, might seem, but I wouldn't do it if it didn't. Thicker the edge, the more bulk you have. Okay, so lift it all up. I'm gonna pop it in like so. Okay, and we're gonna start at this end. And put a dollop on the thick one down there because we don't want it to be too high up. We want those pieces to bend. Right, right, and right. Okay. Now, the trick. We test it to make sure we have left enough. Come on, guys. I know you're trained so well. You just want to stay where I put you, which is appreciated to a point, but sorry. I talk to my stuff I'm working on. Probably too much. Okay, so now when we glue, we're literally gonna glue it like this with the curve on, because we want that float in the middle. Okay, so this end looks like, I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's, so we take this and we put it up. I don't know if you can see that, right up against that seam. Now make sure you try to keep it as centered as possible so that it's going to be even on both sides as well. I think I'm going to leave a tiny bit of space here. Okay. Bead of glue. Ooh, hot. Okay, put that down like that. Just a little tiny bit of space between the bottom of this. Okay. Corner. Okay. Might have been a skosh too small. Make sure. Okay, I think it just feels funky because of. All right. I'm gonna give this a little bit more. Okay. Back down like. So when I say I'm leaving a little more, I probably could have kept another 1/8 or thereabouts. I hate to. Yeah, that's better. Because I wanted to stretch over this. I want it to be kind of firm, but if I tried to make it the exact, whatever it was this way, laid flat, you wouldn't be able to arch it. Okay, so we're going to start on this side. We're just going to start pinning these down. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's hot. Totally hot. Yeah. Hot, hot, hot. Yeah. I'm going to go do the other side as well at the same time. Do the even spacing thing. Okay. Oh gosh. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to whether or not you could see this. I'm so sorry. Okay. Huh. Okay, that needs to be folded up a little. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. Now, if it was not going to do what I want it to do, I stop, I take it apart, and I recut that whole piece. Because for me, if I do something and it has a flaw that could have been fixed, I will notice it all the time. Every time I look at it, I will see it. Now, somebody that I'm finishing something for might not ever see it, but hiya. But I like knowing what I'm sending out is as perfect as I can get it. Okay. Okay. Yes, there is hand sewing that will happen with this. Because you do not glue this to the top. Doesn't happen. All right. So, now what we do is we really hope that these can be tucked right up inside and meet at the sides. Look at that! Oh, I love it when it comes together like that. Yes, I have cried over this piece before because I thought it would go one way and it didn't, and then I didn't do enough, and yeah. All right. Yep, they all got glue bits on it. Yep. I know. Okay. I gotta make sure that that and that meet there. Ooh. My battery's going. Okay. So, placing it on there, bringing it up like that. Oh, this is kind of the difficult part because you're trying to get it situated on there. And it's like, what do I do first? Do I do the sides first? Or do I try to center it? Okay, there. That's at least on. Sort of. Now I go like this. Come on. Hey. Being difficult. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. You have no idea when it comes together. And you don't have to fudge around with it. Ooh, sweetness, joy, rapture. I'm so sad. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, shorty. Okay, in, and now, just so I can hold it very easily, I am going to pin all the sides. because we do not leave this hollow, we are going to put foam in it. Whoops! Oh, I'm lifting the side here. I don't want to do that. So we have to grab a stitch there and pin it like that. Because these pins going up like that, it just pulls away from it. Okay, and what we do is we take our big doll needle, we just gently pull this, push this, get in there. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we're going to stitch around to the other side. Okay? All right. Hold on a second. Well, forget it. I'm going to I gotta get some things. Hold on. Okay, so this nice long piece of fishing line. Get my thumb gripper on. Alright, so I'm going to start on this side. Ooh, I gotta get my extra cheaters on because I want to make sure I'm grabbing the stitches the way I want. I really want to grab this corner stitch. Now remember, dealing with long stitches around the edge can be a challenge. See, just like that, pulled that canvas up and made it so that this stitch bulged. You just do the best you can. Can't always. It pulled that whole one out. Okay, so now we're going to come here and you're just following Let's see if it'll pull it. Come on. There we go. Okay. So it's on the back side there. I come right. Up in the seam. See how it's in the seam? I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so then we're grabbing the top again. Try to grab, avoid. Try to pull that. There. Okay. Hold it nice and tight together, see? So you come into the bottom there, up. Go ahead and fast forward if you'd like while I take this round the horn. Okay. We're going to smooth that stitch back out. That's on the bottom. Sometimes I lose track. Okay. It's on the top. Grabbed a little thread there. Okay. We're gonna take our needle, we're gonna bend that back up, okay? You see how it's kind of, all right, we're okay. Now if we don't get this nice and tight and we stuff it and we see seams, we can always go back around the edge. Whoop. Okay. All right, now this corner is going to get pushed down. There we go. All right, that's up. That's going to come around. I'm going to come here. Sorry. Come on. Focus. Ugh, it's so annoying. I'm going to put a knot in here. Because I want this seam secured. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now, push that down. And we just come here. Like that. Okay. All right. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, ever since that sneeze. Okay, I'm gonna pull this back a little. Okay. All right. Come on. I'm so sorry. Okay, gotta move that. That's gonna make me nuts. And so is this. Not focusing. Hold on a second, please. Turn my autofocus off so it won't be so annoying for you to try to watch. I'll try to keep it in the zone. Alright, so grab this. Grab. Okay. Doesn't usually take me this long to sew something, but trying to do it for a camera can be a challenge. Okay. Now we're going to come back around and we're going to pull those so they don't look bent. Okay? We'll straighten all that back out later. Straighten, straighten. Kind of try to do it as I go. Okay. Yeah. Pretty good at knocking things over right now. Okay. Sorry, adjusting lights. That one is not hidden enough. I can see it kind of glaring. I don't like that. I can see the fishing line shine, and I try to hide it better than that. Because I don't want to have to put cording on. So I'm going to come back in a little further. Okay. Let's see if that. Ugh, this camera and the auto brightness, darkness. Come on. Okay. I think that glue got a little close there, making it hard to pull through. Okay, that's better. Got a little, needs the bat inside. Fill it out. Right now it's kind of deflated. It's up, so I gotta go. And okay. There. Get all of that pushed out the right way. Okay. Now, just like we did on the other corner, I want this really nice and tight seamed. Okay, so we're gonna pull it tight. We're gonna do a knot. Okay. Yeah. Right. On the home stretch. Okay. Okay. So we have a little pole of a long stitch, and I can see some white that I don't want to see. So I'm pushing the canvas back in and I'm pulling the thread to cover it back up again. Then I go back to it. All those little dents can be pulled back out again. You know, you're twisting these curved needles through, and you can, or even your straight ones if you just don't want to deal with a curved one. I don't judge, whatever works for you. Okay. Up, 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 up. Okay. For a minute there, I could see the fishing line. Tuck it back in. Okay. So, I have tried. Oh, I should wait until I'm done. Okay. Okay. And pull tight. And we go again. Do a couple. Okay. Okay. Now the fun part. Okay. So we have to go back up like this. And I have to reset the... Okay, so filling it. So to fill it, what we do is, of course, try to find our ballpoint pen that we gave away today. I'm so brilliant. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's try to scooch some of this over. Now, what this is a hot wire cutter. Okay, and it is 3.5, and this is, I think, just over a half. So 1, 2. That's 7, but I don't think so. Alright, so we take this, and go like this. I think it's actually over a half of an inch. Now we go like this. Now I have tried it where I use a really big piece of foam and, you know, I hot wire through it and try to make it in one piece. It's just too much of a pain in the butt, so I do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 5. For some reason, I feel like it was 5 the last time I did this. Very hot. This is so ridiculously hot that, please, be so very careful. Alright, but it is a phenomenal tool. Okay? So, look at that. Woo! Just melts away. Does it have to be perfect? No, because we can push the sides in and out however we may need it. So if it's a little too big, we just kind of mash the sides down and whoop. See, I just dug into it. It just goes in so easily. I try to go outside the lines so it is a little bigger. I am not always successful. This thing makes me shaky. It's also still coming up to temperature, so it tends to melt very high rapidly. So it's a little more difficult to be nice and steady and even. Now it should be a little bigger than anyway because of drawing around it. Oh, 2, 3. I think I did just enough. Darn. Oop. I was just looking to see if I had the camera actually turned on, and did that lovely little divot. Okay. Because it wouldn't be the first time I paused something only to have to go back and redo something. I mean, hello, just look at the boxed ornament. Hey, yeah. Okay. And we turn it off and we set it across the table. Excuse my reach. Okay. I might need it again, so might have been too soon. Okay, so like I said, mash it down a little and try again. Look at that. Slow and steady. You don't want to get it all cockeyed in there as you're pushing it back. First one always takes a little bit more pushing because of the seam, the waste canvas that is at this end. Look at how nice and puffed out that is now. Before it was kind of looking a little anemic. All right. Let's see. Yeah. And I don't want to push it down too much because another reason why it fights when it first goes in is that waste canvas on this end. Okay. Yeah, you're too big. Ooh. Oh, almost did it. Okay. Okay. Getting all kinds of little popcorny bits in there. Look at that. And last one. Now, if for some reason this isn't like in there, look at that. Hello, perfection. And then we can just, oh, oh, so excited. Oh God, that's so sad that it makes me so happy. Okay. And I want to kind of pull that lip up because I want this to sit on it. Okay. We are almost there to this part being done. And then comes all of the decorating. All right. How exciting. Hmm. Okay. Now, thimble, thimble, thimble. I need a new band-aid on that. It's getting a little stretched out. Okay. Now. Ooh, cheaters. Oh, the double glasses. Okay, now I want to check and make sure that all my seams, yeah, they look good. Yeah, they didn't shift too much. Yeah, tuck that in a little. Okay. Yeah. It's also a little optical illusion when these are puffier and so. Okay. I am going to bring it in closer. Come on. autofocus. Yeah. Let's see if it'll stay. Otherwise I gotta shut the camera off again and change it back. I want to come in on the underside of that brown stitch. Okay, hold on. All right, now it's time to, first thing we need to do is deal with our cording, and how I typically do that is we have a loop in the center that is approximately, of course I have my centimeters side here. Here's 1, 2, 3, so I want to make it a little shorter. 3 inches approximately. And then I double check, because typically how I have this is one piece goes to about there, and another piece comes down to here, so it looks like a rope, and then to about there actually, and then a buoy hangs from this side, and this just kind of hangs loose. Okay, so I want to keep that like that, and this centerpiece, because of the weight of the buoys, the netting, and the starfish, it gets a little lopsided. So we have to offset our loop. We also make it, the base of the loop, a little bit longer than just a single tie so that it goes straight up, so that it has a wider base loop to hang from, and if it needs to be adjusted a little when it's hung, it can be. And I end up kind of tacking it into place to make sure I have the right placement. And we have a whole thing that we do with some thread to cover up our mechanics. Alright. So we're going to tie a piece there of the 6-pound fishing line that we've been using all along. And we're going to cut this piece here. So that's like what, ½ inch apart. And I want to try to keep these side by side. Okay. Totally just spun that right in. Okay. Okay, so now, before we get it on here, we need to wrap this in this thread, but we also need to determine, so this is our blank end. This is where the netting will fall over so we don't cover up any cute stitching. And so this comes this way, like this. Okay. And it gets set just past center. So on this side, I want to make, hold on, take a little pin here and poke it through, because now I can kind of have it held. I can't just loop this and make a knot. It would be gigantic, and so we don't want that. And I don't want it long enough to cover up the pretty beading that the stitcher's done. So we're gonna do it about right there. Okay. I do it this way now because in the past I have attempted to do it and I made it too short, and yeah, it's just easier to do this before you get everything sewn on, because you can take it off and do all the fun stuff I'm about to do to it. Well, or you can also tack it on like this, but still deal with the center, because I want to, as I'm wrapping this, I have to cover up the fishing line, so I'm going to wrap that to look like a knot, and then when I cut this, it'll fray. Alright, so I want it to be like this, and the loop on this one comes down. I don't want it to hang way down. I want it to be up here more. So yeah. Gonna arch this up a little more so it has a little more natural kind of curve, sort of. I'm trying to remember. I might have to look at a picture. No. I want it to hang down like that. So I'm gonna make the knot right at that wood slat. Okay. Up. There. And I don't mind making them not exact every time, as long as I make them similar, so that the person who has seen a previous one finished likes. The reason they want it finished the same way is because they liked the way they saw the shop model or the model on Facebook. So I try to keep them somewhat consistent. Okay, so this is the same fiber from that I made this with, and I'm going to put a dollop of hot glue on that knot that's right there. Okay. And I'm going to start to wrap it around. So the fishing line is here, but I glued it a little behind it, because then I'm going to come over and make sure that my wrap covers my glued part from where I started it. Okay. And I want to kind of cinch it in tight because if you notice, this bows in where I did the fishing line. Bows in. That didn't sound right, did it? Pulls in. And then that part bowed out. So I want to try to get it symmetrical, sort of. Also trying to make sure that you can actually see this as I'm wrapping it. Ah, technology. We love it, and at the same time, it presents many challenges. Let's make sure I can see. I do not want to take my, you can see there's a little bit of fishing line sticking the wrong way, typical. Right. Even though that's on the bottom side, I still don't want to take a chance that it's going to be seen. Oh, now this is why we look on the opposite side. This leg looks great. This side has a spot, a hole. Now I'm going to see if I can, oh, look at that. Doll needle to the rescue. Push, 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 push it up. Okay. Really don't want to wrap it a second time, but I just might. Give it a little more thickness, a little more body. Fill in some of the lumpy spots, maybe. I'm pressing my finger on it to attempt to keep it from unfurling, loosening, and keep that tight. Okay. Now, hold it. All right. Doll needle. Ugh, I should have thought of this before. It's probably not going to want to go in. Come on. I think we can get that last little fiber in. Probably not. All right. Pardon the gooping. A little bit of spit goes a long way. Ugh. But we do what we have to do. My grandma said it was okay. Just don't goop it too much. It's a joke. Okay. And we're going to pull it through like this. Glue was fine down there, but here we're going to pull this in like this. Okay? Because I'm going to sew this down nice and tight. And I don't want it to come off and be seen. Now we take the doll needle, upholstery needle. I don't know why I like calling it a doll needle. A few times I have used it when I did my needle felting to put eyes in a thick head. It was pretty disturbing punching this big long needle through the head of a cute little doll. Okay. Actually, I think that's the same one I used to move my posable eye satyr. That was pretty disturbing. Okay. Very good. All right. Now, I did that there. Here's it way up here. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I might be able to get another one out of this. No, I can't. All right. I'll have to make a longer one next time. Or start this down lower. So now I'm going to trim off the little bits here. No, don't need to. Grab this end again. And this time I'm not going to use glue. I am going to just wrap it over the top to hold it. I could also do just a square knot over the top of it. Oh, that would work. Probably how I've done it in the past, because that would give you your genuine base for looking like a knot. And I'm wrapping and I'm wrapping, right? Okay. Oh dear. Sometimes I should just leave things on the needle. Oh, phew. Okay, got it. Now, so that we potentially avoid, don't slide down, the fuzzy bits being on the top side. I'm going to take this, go like that through the top of the knot. I'm putting this on the edge of my table and pushing backwards. Oh, sugar. Oh. Big needle, little knot. Come on. Oh, such a challenge, and it's unraveling. Okay. Well, lesson learned. Do it like I said in the first place. That's what happens when you have no memory on how you do things. This is why this video is going to help me as much as it does you. So that next time I don't forget. And we'll chop that off there. Now, before I do that, I'm actually going to grab my curved needle, which is much skinnier. Okay. Thread it. Ooh. All right, let's try it again. Warts and all, I show it to you because just because we say we do this for a living does not mean we do not make mistakes or have challenges. That knot is going to be a challenge to cover. I'm sorry. Definitely need to make that a little something next time. Okay, here we go. Rubber grouper on. Curved needle. It's interesting how the air conditioning decided to turn on right then. No, I'm just kidding. How once I started using a curved needle, I go to pick up a straight needle and it's like, really? Okay. Pulling it down through. Okay. Yeah. Alright. My curved needle just does not have the substance, the grit, to help me deal with that pesky little knot that I made. And I'm just kind of manipulating the loop over it. Now, pull this as tight as possible, okay? So that when you snip this, there's no more fuzzies there because it was pulled so tight, it sucks them back in, okay? All right, let's see if I can do this one a little bit. More finessed than that one. Okay. Let me see. There it is. Jeez. Well, you gotta love that fishing line is so clear. Okay, this time, no, I am not making a double because all it does is make trouble for us. Right? Right. So this sits like that. This sits like that. Okay. And I'm going to cut it long because I don't want to have to keep fighting with that tail I just chopped off while I'm trying to wrap this. And I'm going to hold this down like that. So I cover over it. Ooh, take the rubber gripper off. Yikes. Okay. And now that I've gotten past, see, so this little tail that I had there will now become, once it's cut, will become part of the fray. And I'm trying to go accentuate the knot that the square knot, so it's a little more rounded. I know, I'm working white on white here. it's not exactly conducive for you being able to see this really, really well. All right, thumb gripper on. And pull it. Where's my a good spot here? Since we're going to try to make this, we are going to make this part of the fray, I want to make sure to put it on that side of the knot so it comes through. It doesn't, if I stick it out the side, the needle, then what will happen is that will be frayed there. Okay. Now, oh, look at all these little hairy bits I have sticking up here, curly. So we just pull each strand, as this is strandable thread. Oh, there goes one. There goes another one. And oh, look at that. Disappeared right in there. Ta-da! So, now we're going to take this, we're going to cut it like that, and look at that. Oh dear, what are we going to do? We're going to cut this off. That's right. Oh, I need my extra glasses on here. All right. My safety cover off of my X-Acto knife. It's really just to there, so I don't chip the end of it. Stab myself if I take it home, or stab what I have in my bag. I know they usually come with one, but now I'm sorry that you can go ahead and fast forward while I dig this off. But I want you to see that taking a minute to undo the things that didn't kind of go right in the first place is important. I mean, it's important to the look of this, to the continuity of it. And again, always learning. Freaking square knot. I do not want to start destroying this cording though. There we go. Okay, okay. Almost. Okay. I think I have enough here to do this with. Okay. There. Okay. Okay. Just like that. And we take it and we hold it down like that. And we wrap. Okay. We're up on the top side. Let's end it there. Push it in there. Pulling it back. Okay. I want to grab that. And my rubber gripper will do a number on it if I'm not careful. I want that back down there now. There we go. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so we're gonna cut them about the same length. Okay. All right. Next step. That's gone. We're gonna go ahead and we are going to get all this schmuck off of here. All right. So this is the center line. If I remember right. Yeah. Right on the water. And I almost put it on backwards. Leave it right there. Okay. So take this. Yes, I leave it in there. But I sew it down as well. Typically don't do that, but for this particular one, I do. I don't like to use pins in pieces, especially edges of pieces holding beads or anything like that on, because of children. And they pull it out, and then we have a choking, poking, everything else. It's bad enough this is all kind of choking bits. But I have seen people just pin bows on. That's why I don't do that, is if it comes off, it's a chance. That is also why I try to really sew all of my pieces on as tight as possible. All right, cut that off. I want this to lay like this off the end, so I don't need to gather it and any more than it already is. So let's just square knot that off. Boop. Okay, square knot that off. But you have to put resistance on it so that the knot will cinch down. Oop, see? And that's why it'll keep gathering. I don't want that. Okay. If you would like to leave yours flat, you can do your netting any way you want, obviously. Uh, mm, I just do it like this because with this particular application, it works better because it doesn't cover so much. But say you wanted to, I don't know, put this on the side of, I have a brick cover, 3D brick cover that is a shanty. If you wove this and you wanted to hang it on the side, stitch it onto the side, you could, but you might want it, you know, flat, bigger, whatever. You get what I'm saying. So I want to twist this just a little bit more so that these hang down the side like that. Okay? Now, I am going to use a pin to set this on, but it will be removed. I want a nice big fat short one to go right there. Okay? I try to put get as much placed as possible because as I start to do all the stitching part, I don't want to have to keep stopping. I know where everything is going. Speeds up time. Well, after watching all of the elements on this, you realize there's nothing speeding up. Oh, goodness. And it's starting to get dark in here. So I might have to turn on some more lights. Okay, not on, not it. Okay. And let me grab my curved needle. After all of my complaining throughout this project, I degooped all of my pins today. It's a very proud moment for me. It won't last. I'm just sure you get tired of hearing me talk about it. Okay, so this I let kind of just dangle. I don't typically stitch that in. I'm going to start this though. I'm going to start my stitching on here. Then I'll grab a little strand here. And as that curved needle, you can see I'm moving my hand back and forth like that to see where it's coming up next. Okay. Oop, 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 sorry. Okay. And take my pin out. And you know what? I'm going to let this kind of fall down a little bit because there's going to be a buoy here too. The big buoy. Well, the long buoy. Okay. And with that, I'm going to put a knot here. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna go over here, go back in under the needlepoint, come up here. Okay. It's a little bit behind where I wanted it, but I'm gonna approach underneath. I'm gonna come up through, you know what, from here. I come right in the side here. Get that end secured on. Oop. All these tails all over the place. It's gonna grab and grab and grab. I'm gonna come down directly across. Oh. Yep. You just gotta keep trying to find, adjust the curve, adjust the curve, adjust the curve. And to pop that. I don't know, I might grab that out of there. I usually don't, but I just might. The pin I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's pull it. I'll pull this one. I might pull the other one. I don't know. But see, that's why I like it in there. Because did you just see how that danced around on top of there? Just makes it harder to secure it. All right. I am not going down into the mat board that is on the interior. Okay. And yep, I came up right there. I'm going to go back through here again. All right. Lift this all up. Going to come under here. And I'm going to put my knot here underneath. Oop. There we go. One. Two. Okay. All right. Now we are going to take this. Look there. I don't know that I can get it all the way over there. So, I'm going to come back like this. Okay. Make sure that I'm not coming up where this can be seen. You just kind of fold in between all of the stitches with this fishing line. Okay. Now, while I'm here, take this, lay it here like this. Pull this up, make sure I don't have it too close. I want to see, push that down. I want to see where my loop is going to fold, is going to hit. So that metal loop is going to hit right about there. So that's where I'm going to aim at with my needle. Okay. Pretty good. All right. Okay. 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 Yeah. Pretty happy with that. Yep. Okay. Now, we are going to go through this once. Oop, sorry. Here, let me pull that back. Just scooch up a little. Sorry. We went through this like this, right? And I just had it come off my needle. Hold on. I know I kind of look like I'm a mime when I'm doing this because you can't always see it. The invisible thread. Okay, and then I'm going to come here up a little further so that when it comes back down, like, of course, it's going the wrong way. Oop. Gotta turn that a little because my end of my needle has this. Okay, now this is going to wiggle back and forth here because of the post. The way I have it attached on this little metal piece, staple. All right. Okay. All right, let's try to cinch that down slightly. Okay. All right, I'm going to go through it a couple more times. You can fast forward if you like. Now, I'm actually going to knot this at the base over here. And why is that? It's too difficult to kind of knot. Okay. Over here in all that pile of thread. Okay, and we're about to put the starfish on, so why not? Alright. Alright. Okay. Oop. Okay. All right, hangs pretty straight. We still have more elements to put on, so here's hoping they stay the way they're supposed to stay. So now let's hope that this little guy does what it's supposed to do. I think I might have put this a little too, look at that. Okay, that is too far away. Our knot is too far away. So we need to bring it back up over here. And we take our hook guy. I don't know how I got so lucky with how I put the hole. Sometimes I don't do that, and then I end up fighting with this a little bit. Oh dear. Come on. Okay. Just let that stay down there, and I'm going to put it up through like this. Like that. And I'm going to go through it again. Oh, almost had an issue there. One of the loops was stuck over his arm. Now, I'm seeing that this is pushing on this. So, do I push this here and then we push this here? Nah, put it back. It'll be fine. Because it's still going to hang straight. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. All right. So we're going to put this over, cross, and hide our knot. Oh yeah. The rubber grippers on your thumb are supposed to make things easier. Yeah, not always. All right. Even with the little twist in the cord at the base, because my buoy has encroached. Yeah, it's still hanging straight. Yeah. Come on. Trying to keep this tight and get it wrapped and pull it through. Jeez. Need a second hand or something. Okay. So now we want to hang this buoy over here. Right? I think that's how I do it. I'm gonna turn that under and hide those little bits underneath there. Forget where I put this, or if it is here. I'm gonna have to look up a picture. Well, it's a good thing. So now to get rid of this knot, I want plenty of I don't want this to on a big tail on it. Let's just put it that way. So I pull it through like this. Here's my long tail. Pull it really tight. And it sucks it back in. Okay. Now, with this, I'm going to make it, put a tack mark here. Woo! Wow, that was brilliant, Kelly. Pulled it right through. So ridiculous. Okay, and I'm just going to feed that into there, like that. Okay. I'm going to, oh dear. Where's my other end? Stuck underneath. Now I'm just going to knot this. And then we're going to tuck these little bits in. Okay. Okay, there. I'm going to take this. And going to take this piece. And we're going to go this way. And cut. We're going to take this piece. Go that way. Ooh, I got way under the cardboard. No, no, no. Mat board, excuse me. Make sure not to grab any stitches. Pull it tight. That little snap you heard was the knot being sucked inside the stitching at that corner. If you leave little tiny tails and somebody pulls on it and there isn't enough there, that fishing line will pop and then this will let go. Okay? Now, all these little bits here are going to help us hold up. go on the way I thought it did. Just tad. So we are going to have that. I'm going to move the camera. Oh, I can't move the camera. Right. I'll do it like this so you can kind of see it. Oh, we'll utilize, no, can't utilize the buoy. It's too slippery. Here. There. Okay. So I'm going to run. Oh dear. It's stiff, but not stiff enough to just push it straight through. Okay. And want to put it here. How's it gonna hang? This way. Now, if I don't do this right, then what's gonna happen? Oh, that's right. I'm gonna have to take it off and redo it because I can't have it hanging all wonky. Okay, now we're gonna bring it back through the underside, and I'm stabbing straight through that cording. Oh dear. Okay. That side's there, so I'm going to bring this side under so that it will not in between on the back side. Okay. Square knot. See if it hangs straight. Oh, it does. Now, if you want to, you can. This is depending on which way is more appealing to you. I just have it hang. Okay. Like that. Of course, it's not quite centered. It's not hanging quite how I was. There we go. Now, all right. Again, taking these long bits. Okay. I'm going to feed this one in. Sugar. It's too tight now. We'll feed it up this way. Okay. I'm going to cut off. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Perfect. There. Okay. There's that on. That. We have one more to go. And I'm going to take a second and I'm going to pull the pictures up on my phone. All right, hold on. Okay. It goes off the back end here. Goes like, I'm gonna set this kind of under here. Maybe I can't. So that's right where I'm gonna put it. And it's kind of puffing up there and I'm not liking that. So this will help cinch that down. Okay, and we're gonna do the whole feed it through in between there. Oh dear. Race car. Okay. How's it wanting to do this? Because sometimes they have a mind of their own. Okay, that's okay. All right. Take this. Do the same thing we do with the rest. Pull it back up through. Okay. And cut. Okay. And this. And cut. Oh, cheese and crust. It had escaped the end of my curved needle. Whip up. And I do not want to take a chance of cutting this net, so. Okay. All right. Here's our finished lobster trap with accessories. Happy stitching. Oh, well, happy stitching and finishing.